This is Math 107, Practice Test 1, question number 8. And there's a couple ways to think about this one. Basically, I'm going to think about it symbolically. So you count your money. It's going to be my statement P. You will be disappointed is my statement Q. You didn't count your money. Notice that's the negation of P. You were not disappointed. That's the negation of Q. So the structure of this argument is, if you count your money, if P, then you will be disappointed. P implies Q. Then it's saying not P. P didn't happen. Therefore, Q didn't happen. And the question is this a valid argument? And it's about the structure of the argument, right? The content of the statements doesn't really matter. In other words, does this argument hold water? Does it always work, no matter what these statements are? Did these conditions force that to happen? So really what I'm saying when I evaluate this argument is I'm saying that P implies Q and not P, right? The pieces of the argument force not Q to happen. And the structure here, the way that I'm going to go about checking it, is I'm going to make a truth table. And if my truth table always ends up being true, if this is always true, then this argument is valid. But if even once this statement is false in my truth table, that means this is an invalid argument. So PQ, I only have two statements. So that simplifies my truth table a little bit. I'm going to go true, true, false, false. True, false, true, false. And again, that's just the way I set it up so that I know that I have every true-false combination for two possibilities. So I'm going to need a couple pieces here. I'm going to need a P implies Q. So that is true here. That's false here. And then true, true. Remember, implications are true if the premise is false, because they didn't have a chance to be disproven. I'm going to need a not P. So not P is just the negation of P. So it switches all these. False, false, true, true. And so, like, notice how terrible my handwriting is here. Be really careful. Your handwriting's probably better than mine. Be really careful that your T's and F's really look like T's and F's. So I have P implies Q. I have not P. So now what I could do is I could write another one here. I'm going to cheat, not really cheat. I'm going to trick a little bit. Since this is all this statement compared with that and, I'm just going to put an and down the middle. And instead of rewriting everything, it's just easy comparison to make. So this and that. Remember, an and statement means they both have to be true at the same time. So false here, true, true. So there's that piece right there. So I also need a not Q. So the negation of Q, just going to flip the values on these. False, true, false, true. And I am almost there. So now this last statement, my actual argument, the whole structure of it, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to compare now. And notice that I have all the pieces I need. I have this right here. And I have this right here. So what I'm going to do now is compare this to that with an implication. Remember, for an implication, it has to be, the only time this is false is when this is true and that's false. So false, false is true. Remember, if your premise is false, your argument is still true. It hasn't had a chance to be disproven. But notice right here, true, false. The premise is true, but the conclusion is false. So that means that implication doesn't hold. True, true, it's true here. And when you're proving the validity of an argument, just one case of false makes it so it's invalid. So this is an invalid argument. Wow, look at that. Boom. In other words, it could be possible that you end up not being disappointed even if you don't count your money. So this and this does not cause that to happen.